Good evening and welcome back. I'm here with Captain Rich Harris from the Real Deal Charters, and that's Real, R-E-E-L, Deal Charters.
We are the real deal.
The Real Deal.
The real deal.
Tell us what the Real Deal is.
The Real Deal Charters is a family-run Christian business that started 7 years ago. I was in the military and serving over in Afghanistan and broke my back trying to get into a bunker during a rocket attack.
Really?
Really. And when I came back home, I got saved, and they were going to put me out of the military. They said, either retire or we're going to retire you. So at that time, my wife said, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, let's follow God's gift. And God's gift has always been, I've been able to catch fish. So I went ahead and I said, well, let's start a charter business. So while I was waiting to get all my surgeries and all that other stuff done, we started the Real Deal Charters. And that's where it was born.
Well, you know, Jesus hung out with fishermen, so that's why.
Jesus has a special place in his heart for fishermen.
I'm losing my microphone here, so let me just clip that back on. He sure does. And you know, it's so neat. When I look for guests on the show, even though WLCN is a Christian station, you know, we just look for family, interesting broadcasting. And I knew when I left you a message and you called me back, I knew right away you were a Christian, because you said, God bless. And you were just so sweet and so full of goodness and light. And I think Christians can spot other Christians. So what a blessing it is to have you on the show today.
Amen.
Okay, so let's say I want to go out on a charter. What are my options with the Real Deal?
With the Real Deal Charters, basically we catch everything that swims.
Everything that swims.
Everything that swims. We do inshore fishing, we do near shore fishing, we do offshore fishing, and this is year round.
Year round?
It's year round. People like from different states up north where they get really cold weather. During the cold months here, we catch, we'd go sight fishing for redfish, where you see, you know, great big schools of hundreds of redfish and you're sight casting for them, and it's really exciting. And then as it starts to heat up, the fishing kind of changes inshore because the water clarity changes, and you just have to change with the tide. So basically, if you want to catch the inshore species, we fish for redfish, trout, flounder, sheep's head, and everybody that comes from out of state loves to fish for shark.
Hey, I want to go shark fishing. I am ready to go shark fishing.
We can do that.
Why do people want to catch sharks?
Because they don't have the sharks in the freshwater lakes up north.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? I mean, what am I going to do with my shark?
Well, we promote catch and release.
Okay. Oh, so you do.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So I can't eat what I catch.
No, if it's within the law,
okay,
we'll let you keep it.
All
but
right.
there are certain species that, like right now, the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources has put out an advisory to let all the trout go right now, and that's because they had such a hard winter.
Oh, okay.
And so many of them died that they want to let them fish spawn.
Oh, interesting.
So they'll spawn out, and then in September they're going to lift the ban, and it's a voluntary type ban. So we promote catch and release, and if a customer catches like a really big trout or a redfish or something like that, we also do replicas, where we can take a picture of the fish.
I love it.
Take a picture of the fish. We measure it, you know, get everything, and then we can send it away to one of our affiliates, and they will actually make you a replica of the fish exactly what you caught. The other day, had a guy on the boat catch a 55-pound dolphin. That thing was like 61 inches. Now you think 61 inches? That's a big fish. So he's getting a replica of that. That was a no-brainer. That didn't take much selling to get that done.
You know what I would do? I mean, this is what I would do. If I didn't catch anything big, I'd have you make me up something. That is what I caught.
That's a fish story.
That's a fishy tale. That's a very fishy tale. So, hey, do you have any, speaking of which, tell us some of the adventures that have happened out at high seas. Maybe some that are a little, don't have to be off color or anything, just something a little interesting.
I can tell you what, there was one time that our pastor at our church, Pastor Mike Lewis at Cathedral of Praise, he said, Rich, we're doing a segment on fishing. We want you to take us out and take us fishing. We're going to have the cameras and everything going and stuff like that. And I said, okay. So They didn't give me much notice, and it was a little bit rough. But anyway, I get them out there to the spot, and I said, okay, do you want me to tell you when the fish are going to bite? And they looked at me all weird, like, what do you mean? I said, well, I can tell you exactly when the fish are going to bite.
Huh.
They said, what are you, some kind of fish prophet? I was like, no, it doesn't go like that.
Fish prophet.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like that. It's just, when we're offshore, we get these bottom positions marked on our GPS.
Okay.
And I can tell exactly where I had caught fish before, and I'll drift the boat over them, and I can say, okay, you're going to get the bites right now. And bam, 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 bam. They caught them. It took 5 minutes.
I think that's amazing. So you know all the secret spots. This guy knows the secret spots to go.
It's what makes a fisherman different, or what makes a guide different from any weekend fisherman that comes in, is you've got to be able to take the gift that God gives you and be able to disseminate that information. You take the tide, the watercolor, the wind.
The watercolor even.
The watercolor is so important because you get different rips in the water, and one side will be dingy and the other side will be clear. You're going to probably catch the fish on the clear water because they can see the bait better. Okay, so you find these different areas and you take this formula, and even barometric pressure. Barometric pressure this time of the year has a lot to do with how you're going to catch the fish. And we take all those and we get those formulas together, and that's how we put people on fish every day.
You know what? I just want to go out with this guy because I think he'd be a lot of fun, to go out on the boat with and hang out. Now, how long do you book a tour for? Is it a day, 2 hours, 3 hours?
Well, what we did was we do 4, 6, and 8 hour trips for inshore. And
for inshore?
For inshore. And that's basically when you're fishing this side of the jetties, the Fort Sumter side of the jetties.
Okay.
Then we do our deep sea trips. And about 2 years ago, we had this big headboat in Charleston called the Thunderstar, and they went out of business. So what we did is we took that concept and we made a smaller, we call it the Headboat Express, where we take only 6 people. Mm-hmm. And that's a full day trip.
That's a full day trip. That is what I want to do. That is
deep sea. So
and that's where you can get the really, really big fish. And get them copied. You can catch and release them, and then get one that looks just like it. I mean, I could sit here and talk with you all day because you're just so much fun. But
I know, I'm noisy.
I like that, though. I mean, that's great. You need your own show here.
Well, you never know what happens.
Captain Rich Harris is ready to change his career. Give us your web address.
Our web address is www.therealdealcharters.com, and that's spelled REEL.
Real deal. You are the real deal. And just look over there and give us your phone number.
Phone number is area code 843-388-5093. Don't be surprised if you get my wife on the phone, because she is the owner of the business, and we call her El Conquistador.
Wives rule. Yes, we do. Don't you forget that, honey. Anyway, thank you for watching Sweet Carolina. Be sure to join us next week, same time, same channel.